It is mentioned about Prophet Isa alayhi salam that he said, either this exact wording or the meaning is the same. Man ta'allam fa'amila bima ta'allam yud'a 'aziman fi malakuti as-samawati wal ard. That is, the person who learns and then applies what he learns, then he is called great amongst the angels of the sky and the earth. This issue of implementation, that is applying the knowledge that you learn, is extremely important. This is something that Shaykh Abdullah rahimahullah ta'ala emphasized. He used to say, manhajuna, our way, that is of the jama'iyah, of our people, the methodology, manhajuna, al-ilmu wal-amal. That our way is knowledge, that is learning it first, wa-amal, then applying that knowledge. You learn something new, you apply that knowledge. You learn something new about the prayer, for example, you apply it. You learn that saying Subhana Rabbiyal Azim in the ruku' is sunnah, you do it. You learn that holding your hands in a certain way is sunnah, you do it. You learn something about wudu, you learn something about fasting, you learn something new about the acts of worship, you apply that. As we mentioned about Al-Imam An-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, that is the reason for memorizing such a hadith, learning such a hadith, to apply it, that is in your daily lives. So this is something that, as we said, needs to put effort in. At the same time, you be realistic with yourself. You learn 20 new things, you're not going to be able to do them straight away. But start. You try one thing, for example, you use it for a week. Then you try the second new thing, you apply it. Not you try it once, and then you can't do it, and you move on to another one, you do it, and then you leave it, and then the third one, you left the first two out. The idea is you keep doing these things. Then you add on to them. Then you keep doing those regularly and you build on them. This is how a person improves himself. And as we said also, certain things people might not know. They are sunnah, might not be used to these ideas. And then later on, they realize. For example, this issue of eating with the hands. If you saw someone else eating with their fingers, you might think, what was he doing? Then later on you learn this is the way that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to eat. Now you realize. Shaykh Abdullah rahimahullah ta'ala was extremely vigilant in applying the sunnahs of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That is the best that he could, in all that he could. He would apply the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sometimes his students would not even know that what he is doing is actually something that was done by the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. One of his students mentioned that when we used to enter, that is when we used to come in to take a lesson from Shaykh Abdullah, his leg would be extended. That is, at the time they would come in. This is a Shaykh Abdullah, especially in his old age, he went through a lot of pains and aches and illnesses. So his leg used to hurt. So he would extend it. But when he saw them coming in, he would bring his leg back and put it straight. They would realize what he's doing, and then they'd come in and they'd take his leg and they'd extend it for him. They're like, we want you to be relaxed. Then later on they were studying some of the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and it is mentioned that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whenever he would teach the companions and speak to them, he would never extend his leg. So that's what he wanted to do. Even though he was in pain, he wanted to apply the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this, just in that, something simple, extending your leg, not extending your leg, using your right hand, not using your left hand. Other things like these are very simple, but they need to be actively applied and done. So as we said, we learn new things, not just to say we've learned them, we've taken this book or that book. We want to benefit. What's the fruits of the knowledge that we acquire, the implementation. That is carrying out these things by our hands and our feet and our tongues and the like, insha'Allah ta'ala.